Hello, how are you today? First of all, I'm Ashley-Rosa with TWM News. Um, how are you?
I'm great. Nice to meet you. Beautiful day here in Tampa, and really looking forward to the interview.
Yeah, it looks lovely there. I can see everything in, your background. It's
Yeah,
absolutely beautiful. So let's go ahead and start. I've got a few questions, of course, from me. The TWM staff, they love you, absolutely love you. Impact Faithful, I have a couple questions from them as well because I like to
yeah,
include them. All right, so first of all, let's let everyone know we anyone can watch Impact on Impact Insiders on YouTube, and of course, everyone should subscribe to Impact Plus. No Surrender will be on there, and of course, if they have Access TV, hey, it's there
yes, it is.
every Thursday night. Uh, how are you feeling going into No Surrender?
I feel really good. I feel the healthiest and happiest I've probably been in my life. Worked really hard to get to this point. I have this upcoming weekend off after a match with Myers tomorrow night. Um, so I'm happy, healthy, and I'm ready for an Impact World Championship to be right over the shoulder. And I think I'm really prepared. I think I'm going in there 110% prepared.
So you would say you do feel prepared for Moose, Moose is quite the competitor.
Yeah,
Um,
he's unlike anything I've been in the ring with before. Just his size and speed and athleticism and agility and his stamina. He's like I said, he's a novelty. There's nobody else like him in wrestling right now or possibly ever. So it's definitely going to be a really, really tough challenge, but I'm going in very confident.
I think confidence is, key to anything in the world, absolutely. Moose is a very strong competitor. He's the type of man, I've interviewed Moose before, and he's the type of man that he's going to try to get things done. You know, he's going to try
Oh
to
yeah,
retain, and I think you two are going to put on a fantastic match. Absolutely, Um,
there's no denying that it's going to be a fantastic match either way. But I will come out on top. But definitely in terms of entertainment, you got a guy his size and as athletic as him versus a guy my size with the abilities that I have. It's going to be a really, really good match for sure.
yeah, you excited to main event?
Very excited to main event. I don't think I've gone on last on a pay-per-view in a long time. So I'm really excited to main event. I'm really excited to be in a match for the Impact World Championship. It's a goal that I had when I first started talking to Scott D'Amore last year. I wanted to be the guy. I wanted to get to the mountaintop of Impact Wrestling. And, less than 10 months into my tenure with Impact, I have the opportunity for an Impact World title in a one-on-one match next Saturday. So, yeah, I'm very blessed.
With factions forming, sides being taken at Impact, do you see yourself either reuniting with Violent by Design sometime down the road, or are you gonna stay solo?
For now, I'm going to stay solo, but if the right opportunity comes knocking and Violet by Design, you know, offers me a good deal, a good opportunity, yeah, sure. I'm always open ears for opportunities, and if it's not them, it could be somebody else. Right now, I'm riding solo, but if the opportunity comes my way and I think it's a good opportunity, then yeah, I'm probably going to do it.
There you go. And this leads into the next question. How about, starting a faction of your own, having a couple guys with you, you know,
Hmm. You're the first person to ever ask me. I don't, man. I don't. I've never thought about it, but that would be really fun to start a faction of my own. Like I said, right now I'm focused on being solo, being a singles competitor, but that would be the first time in my career that would be a first for me starting a faction. So I'm glad you mentioned that. It's something I'm going to keep on my mind.
yeah, you'd be, your size, your abilities, your charisma, I'm
I
just
appreciate you saying that. Thank
you're a
you.
great
Thank you.
leader, great
Yeah.
leader, just
Thank you.
throwing it out there. Um, any dream opponents you want to face, and I'm not talking just Impact. I'm talking everywhere. Independence, New Japan, AEW. Hell, that Forbidden Door, as they call it, is open back to WWE. Anyone that's on your radar, anyone
Hon-
that W. Morrissey wants to face.
Honestly, right now, the active wrestler that I want to face is Will Ospreay. Wherever we can do that, whether it's in Japan, in the States, somewhere on an independent promotion, that's the guy that I want to get in there with, Will Ospreay. So if I had to pick one, so hopefully that opportunity comes, and I'm going to try my damnedest to make it happen.
I mean, it's a possibility. I've seen, a lot of people from Impact, a lot of competitors all around the independent scene, Warrior
Yeah.
being one of them, AAW. There's, I see everyone's everywhere. It's a possibility. Osprey, I know, works independence.
Anything is possible in the wrestling climate nowadays. Anything.
Anything, yeah.
And I think that's the first time in the history of wrestling that that's been the truth. But right now in wrestling, anything is possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd see the day, in so many years of watching pro wrestling that, the world is just in a crazy time. The wrestling world is just open to like crossovers, people coming from different promotions, anything. It's not something, if I were to, bet like 6 years ago, I would say no, absolutely not. I don't see it happening, but
Yeah.
just crazy, during a intense time in the world.
Yeah. And I think everybody benefits. The performers benefit, the promoters benefit, and the fans probably benefit the most, actually definitely benefit the most. So everybody wins across the board when you have open doors, and people from different promotions get to go into other promotions and compete with their guys. Yeah, I think that what we're seeing right now is very unique. It's never happened before. And I think everybody wins. I think there's a positive for every aspect looking at it. So not that it should have happened sooner. I'm glad it's happening now. But yeah, it's really exciting time to be a performer. And I'm sure as a fan myself, it's an exciting time to be a fan for sure.
Absolutely. I see people that have never even watched Impact get interested in Impact because,
Yep.
With everything going on, their favorite wrestlers going over there, or their favorite wrestler that hasn't wrestled in quite some time is returning to pro wrestling. So
Yeah.
I think the fans win. Absolutely.
Yeah, the fans are definitely the biggest winners from this past year, even maybe past 2 years in terms of the open door policy. And especially, like you said, a lot of guys that have been out of action for a while see that, and they want to come back and return. They see the climate now in the wrestling industry, and they're enticed to come back and perform. So I think it's just excellent across the board, and the fans are the number one winner here.
Well, let's go to staff questions because, my boss, Richard at TWM, big fan. He said, once you win the Impact World Championship, where would you like to defend that championship and who against? Anyone?
Well, I think the first defense has to be an Impact. I think when I win that title on February 19th, my first title defense should be on Impact. It should be someone currently on the Impact roster. Give them an opportunity. And after I beat them, which I will, anybody, I'm open to anybody. I'm open to anybody from any company from around the world. So, and I'm sure, there are a lot of people out there that they see me reach the pinnacle in Impact Wrestling. They're going to want an opportunity, and I'm open for all of them. But the first title defense, it's got to be an Impact against the current Impact roster member.
So, like, more or less, you're thinking like maybe an open challenge. I mean, because I'll be honest with you, I don't see a lot of guys other than, Moose or Josh Alexander, coming for that title if you have it. So
Josh Alexander would ideally be the first title defense, especially after what happened to him at Bound for Glory. He held the title for a mere 5 minutes, if that. And I think pretty much, I'll be honest, he got screwed. So I think he's a guy that deserves another opportunity at the Impact World Championship. And after I win it next Saturday, February 19th, I'll be happy to give him that opportunity because he deserves it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've
Yeah.
interviewed Josh, absolutely great guy. I, you know, uh, just he's such an inspirational person. It's and
He is very hard worker, very hard worker. When we're at the hotel for Impact Wrestling tapings, every morning, that guy, him and Jordan Grace also, they're always like the first people up, getting their coffee or whatever they get and go right to the gym. And tell you what, man, there's days when I get up at the hotel and I really don't want to work out before I go to the building, and see those guys and see Joshua Alexander going to the gym after he just, had a brutal match the night before. I think, well, I don't have an excuse anymore. So you gotta work out today. So he's a really, really hard worker, and he pushes me to work harder for sure. I don't think he knows that, but he does.
And Edward at TWM also, he covers a lot of Japan. He also helps out with Impact. He's kind of the guy that, he helps out, where he can. But he mainly handles like a lot of Japan and Impact as well. He wanted to know and wanted me to ask you who your favorite wrestler was growing up.
Growing up, it was Bret Hitman Hart, but after attending the Survivor Series '96 in Madison Square Garden, it was Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he'll forever be my number one. And getting to meet him and do his podcast in 2016 was such an honor. So yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin, my favorite wrestler of all time, and I don't see anybody knocking him off the pedestal in my mind.
Absolutely. I think especially during when he came over, like, because he was stunning Steve Austin, and then he came over to like WWF, which is WWE now. He adapted and created this whole new persona, and to this day, I think it's probably, I would say, one he's quoted the most. His in-ring ability, character, charisma, everything. He's definitely will still always be one of those top guys, and I would definitely say, as far as inspiring, certain generations as well.
He's wrestling. Yeah, he it took him a while to get the opportunity to be, to be able to show what he could do to the fullest extent. And, he worked really hard. And when he was given that opportunity, knocked it out of the park and became the top, in my opinion, the top wrestler in the history of professional wrestling. So, it's about getting that right opportunity. And, I think something that he had deep down was like, he always knew that he was going to be the top guy in professional wrestling, and he was just waiting for that opportunity. So, he's forever in my mind the best of all time, and all those, traits and accolades that you just mentioned just further prove that.
Yeah, I might be a little biased because I'm from Texas, so, so
yeah,
I
all right. That's
so
definitely biased, yeah.
But there's other performers I love. I loved Owen Hart, Bret Hart. Growing up, Ultimate Warrior. It's the list goes on.
Yeah.
We'll get to Impact Faithful. They had a few questions.
Yeah.
AO, AYO.
AO.
AO. Yeah. He's
Ayo.
Everyone is supporting everyone for Impact. Absolutely, great person. He wanted to know, do you have any concerns for the learning tree, maybe interrupting any interference from them?
Yes, that's a definite yes. That's a resounding yes. Brian Myers, he's always got something up his sleeve, and he has, the learning tree. And then he, what was it, 2 weeks ago, he found 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 other guys to compete against me. I don't know what he's capable of. I don't know where he's scouting, but for all I know, it could be, me versus, Brian Myers, the learning tree, and 15 to 20 other people. So to answer the question, yes, I fully expect the learning tree to get involved tomorrow night.
Kind of growing in numbers, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, and who knows? Who knows how many? Well, the match I had was 8-on-1 2 weeks ago, so who knows how many guys he can find?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Myers, great trainer, the most professional wrestler, wrestler. uh, I don't know, man. Those numbers are growing, and I see them every week, and I'm like, oh, there's another member of the learning tree. That's great.
yeah, and something that's working, to my disadvantage is the fact that the match tomorrow night's no DQ, so everybody can get involved, and there's no disqualification. So it's definitely going to be a real battle, but I have a strong feeling that I'm going to win. So
I believe in you.
Yeah, thank you.
TWM.
That's my official prediction.
Yeah, we believe in you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Let's see. Daniel William Clark, also another Impact faithful, always supporting everyone from the brand. He wants to know, since you're from Queens, are you a Mets fan? And if so, who's your favorite player?
I'm a Yankees fan. So no, I'm not a Mets fan. If I had to say who's my favorite player, Aaron Judge. I guess my favorite player on the Mets would be Max Scherzer. I pretty sure if they play this year, he's a New York Met. So I really like him, but not a Met fan. Never liked the Mets, and don't plan on rooting for them anytime soon.
All right. Well, he'll be surprised to know.
Yeah.
That's okay. Let's see. Is there anything you want to say to Impact faithful, particularly your fans, or any wisdom you want to share with them?
Yeah, just keep sticking with me. I wouldn't be where I am without the fans and their full support. And I feel like I have the feeling that I'm gaining new fans every week. So just keep faith in me. I'm going to reach the mountaintop. I'm going to become the Impact World Champion, and I'm going to be a really great representative for Impact Wrestling. And hopefully when I'm, the guy, Impact Wrestling will thrive like it has been, for a very long time. So, yeah, just, I really appreciate your support. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now without y'all and your acceptance and your forgiveness and your enthusiasm. So just thank you for that. And please keep it coming. And I promise you, it'll be worth it.
Yeah, I remember when you first debuted, I was surprised and I was excited. A lot of them were surprised, and they were just so thrilled that you were there. So they were like, this is the place he should have been to begin with.
Yeah.
And here's to another 20 years of Impact Wrestling, still going strong for 20 years.
Heck yeah.
And I think, especially, with everything going on, I think, Impact has always been a place of opportunities.
Yeah.
Rebirth, redeveloping yourself. Do you feel, different being at Impact? Do you feel better? How's the environment? How's everyone treating you?
I love Impact. The environment is great. Everybody's, treats me fantastic. It's a really, really good group of guys and gals over there at Impact. Yeah, and everybody gets along, and everybody is so passionate about wrestling. That's my favorite thing about being there. It's just everybody is just so passionate about wrestling, and they have been for a really long time. Just hearing people discuss wrestling, they're remembering things from the early 90s and specific matches and stuff like that. And everybody there loves wrestling, and it's been really great. And as far as performance wise, yeah, I feel like it's been a rebirth for me. They gave me an opportunity to show the world what I can do when healthy, sober, and in the right mindset. And I think I've knocked it out of the park for sure since I got there. I think I've shown everybody just how talented I am, and I'm going to continue to do so. So yeah, it's definitely been a rebirth for me, and the beginning of something special. I'm hoping. So stick with me, and we're all going to ride that wave together, and it's only going up.
Yeah, I believe so too. I'm just very pleased with seeing how people are just completely open-minded. They're open to like, hey, let's go check this out. Our faves there, like I said earlier. One of the Impact faithful I didn't write his name down, but he'll definitely know who he is. He completely off subject. He wanted to know what type of jelly you like on your peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I know, off subject, but I thought I'd ask.
It's a good question. I guess growing up, I was a grape guy. Whether it could be preserves or jam or jelly, I was a grape guy, and it was always a lot more, jelly than peanut butter. But now I'm more of a strawberry, guy. I'm a strawberry guy, and excess on the peanut butter on white bread. So yeah, I'm a strawberry guy now. I used to be a grape guy, and I'm open to all other types of jams, preserves, and jellies. But right now, I'm a strawberry guy.
Great choice. I never
Yeah,
really liked grape, to be honest with you.
yeah,
Or
I
that
loved it as a
that
kid.
whole that whole thing where they mix it together in one jar. Nah, not that. I ain't
Yeah.
about that. It's, it kind of, it just doesn't work out. Last question from me,
Yeah.
which is, you've been a tag team wrestler, very successful tag wrestler, and you're a very successful singles competitor. For anyone that's watching that wants to be a pro wrestler, working the independents, just starting out, what fundamentals do you want to provide them with, give them with, so that way they know and they can develop as much confidence, as you have or anyone in this industry?
The first thing I'd say is really focus on character, and that takes acting, whether it's acting, when you're in your car alone, or acting in the mirror, or having a conversation with yourself when you're by yourself, or even with, a loved one or something. Just constantly working on character, because there have been a ton of wrestlers that were extremely competent in the ring, and they were amazing, but they didn't ever reach the mountaintop. Not one guy that's ever reached the mountaintop did not have a character, did not know who he was, did not work at that craft of developing that character and perfecting it. So I'd say really, really focus on character. And in terms of the wrestling training and everything that goes into it physically, you got to be willing to go to lengths that nobody else is willing to go to. You have to get an upper hand on everybody. You have to do the things that nobody else wants to do. And yeah, I think I don't know who it was, Joe Burrow, maybe I saw today. Someone was speaking about, football, but I agree with him in terms of wrestling. Work hard every day, and you don't have to, post something on Instagram and then take 4 days off, and then post another thing on Instagram that you're working really, really hard, and fooling everybody when you're taking 4 days off from the gym. Don't let anybody see what you're doing. Just work hard, let the results speak for themselves. And when you show up in better shape, or when you show up way better, they're going to know you put the work in. You don't have to validate yourself by putting it on Instagram. So I'd say just be willing to go to the lengths that nobody else is willing to go to. Just focus on you and really put in the work that no one else is doing. Not the work you don't want it to appear like you're putting in the work. Actually put in the work. Those would be my two things.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time. It was an
Yeah.
honor speaking with you.
Hell yeah, it's an honor speaking with you.
I absolutely, liked you in NXT, WWE, and I'm happy that you're showing, what a strong singles competitor you are. Once again, It's
Awesome.
an honor and a privilege speaking with you. You have a good
Thank
day.
you very much. I appreciate it.
All right.